about this long rim, this graduated path to enlightenment. We started about the Four Noble Truths, especially the first two ones. Life is difficult. There's a lot of difficulties. If I would have a choice, I wouldn't choose it. What is the causes? Is my own doing? Is my own responsibility? Meaning is my negative emotions and the karmic imprint that the mind stream has already created. Then it's possible to cease all kind of suffering and the causes and then the path. Okay? So then you become, if you find some truth in there and you want to practice this, you will also see very quickly that it's not so easy to practice because it goes against our habitual behavior. So we have a lot of helps. And one of the helps that we're looking at this morning, maybe it will help you also to keep you on the track. So, of course you can do your motivation and aspiration and dedications at the end. You can do them totally freestyle. I'm not saying you have to do something like this. But this is like prefabricated formulas that will keep you on the track. On top of it, that will open your heart. And on top of it, that will purify negative karma and create a lot of positive karma. Just by reciting these things, if your mind is there. Now, if your mind is not there, of course, the benefit from it is very small, right? But it's still, at least you're saying the words, and from time to time, you know how it is when you brush your teeth also. Sometimes the mind is totally somewhere else when you brush your teeth. Boom, and all of a sudden it comes back, and then you're brushing teeth again. Yeah, and then it goes again. So with these things, of course it would be nice, if one would be 100% exactly what you're saying, the right mind state by saying it is there, that would be fantastic, but it's not. And I remember when I came to Bern, like 12 years ago, the center in Bern, they never did anything like that. So I said, but look, we're a Buddhist center, so if people don't like it, they don't have to say these things, but we should really train them to start saying them. There was a lot of resistance because all they wanted is to sit and be quiet and meditate. So I said, it takes 2 minutes. So we just do it. People got used to it. When somebody new comes, then they have to come half an hour before so I can explain, because otherwise it feels strange. So this is why I'm adding this now at the end. This is why I didn't do it at the beginning. For many of you who are sitting here, we could have done it from the beginning. Because whenever you start an activity, like meditation, study, just getting up and going out into the world, you prepare the mind to do that. So now me with these, okay. Page 10. So you would start by taking refuge, and Geshe-ma Kelsang Wangmo, she will teach on refuge. If you're thinking about becoming a Buddhist, because it implies that you stop doing certain things, it implies that you take up doing certain things. We don't have time here to talk about this, and also, if you're not yet thinking about becoming a Buddhist, also it's not necessary. What you need to take refuge so it becomes very strong is some kind of healthy fear of being reborn again and again and again and again. But a healthy fear, not a panicking fear, okay? And to trust in the methods of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, that we will be able to get you out of there. Is there something, something disturbing you? Huh?
I was wondering if anyone else read that.
She's over there. She needs a ball for her back. Okay. Yeah, so it's good. It's like looking at. By the way, also, I did not cut the pineapple because somebody came this morning and said, "Thank you for cutting the pineapple." It wasn't me, so I don't want to take this credit. It was Yael. Who did the pomegranate? I don't know. It was not me. Yesterday and the day before yesterday, it was me. But today I didn't do anything. I came. Somebody said, "Can I help?" I said, "Yes, please." And I left again. Yeah, so I don't want to take the credit for that. Okay, so you need to have a healthy kind of disgust of being under the control of your negative emotions. Do you think that our negative emotions control us? Yes or no? Definitely. Yeah. Do you think this is a good thing to continue to live like that? Not really. So then if somebody gives us some methods how to do with it, how to work with it in a healthy way, not to suppress them, not to live them out, but to be able to study them, to be able to apply antidotes and all these kind of things, then, one thinks, oh, I have enough of this, I want to change. So this is one mind that you need to have when you take refuge. Sometimes it's called fear, but maybe that's not such a good word for that, because when we hear fear, we go like, ugh, yeah. Common sense. I want to do something about these negative emotions. It's one thing. Then the other thing is that you trust these methods, that they will help you to get rid of, first to decrease your negative emotions and finally to eliminate them. But in order to have trust, as I said, we go like step by step. First is just kind of seeing somebody who is working with this, like Buddhists who have been Buddhists for a long time. And long time, I'm not saying 20 years. Long time, I mean their whole life. And even with those people, you have very bad examples. Yeah? So find a good example and don't get hooked on one bad example. There's plenty of good examples. Some of them are absolutely not famous. They're just, doing the practice in their corner and all this and Some of them have been away from society for a long time. Then after having been in 3-year retreat, 12-year retreat, then they come back to society. And we have 2 examples of this. Western nuns, who are probably the most famous ones, is like Tenzin Palmo, and took the children also, but more like Pema children. Yeah. These 2 have done long retreats, so it's not that with an unrealized mind you go and you want to change the world. First you go in and then you work on your mind and then maybe you come out again, or you come out next life, I don't know. Lama Rinpoche, I said, the one who doesn't sleep and teaches hours and hours is always there only for other people. In his last life, he was the Lauda Lama. So he spent his whole life in retreat, in a cave. Yeah. So in order to do with the mind. So in order to have faith and trust, first you should be inspired by, oh yes, this I want to do. Then you try to find somebody who is doing that so you can talk about it, not just read about it. And then as you are practicing this, then maybe you will see that it works. And then you have the trust that comes from experience. Okay? So this is it, like fear and trust, or fear and faith, they usually say. These are the 2 minds in order to take refuge. And these 1, 2, 3, 4 lines tells us exactly, it has the whole puzzle in it actually. So it keeps us on track. So then whatever you do, the mind goes in that direction, even if it's not conscious. Yeah? So it goes, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. So you're sure until I'm enlightened. So you need to know what enlightenment is. It's not just liberation for yourself, but full awakening, like a fully awakened Buddha. How to do that, we talked about it this morning, we practice the 6 perfections, okay? And then, to whom do I take refuge, or whom do I trust? What is the object that protects me? Refuge is a protection. Yeah? It's the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. What exactly, why there's 3, and the function of these 3, again, Geshe-Kels and Wangmo will do with you. Then by the accumulation of merits, of practicing generosity and so forth are the other 5 perfections. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So you're here with these 4 lines. You're sure I'm not going to give up until I'm fully enlightened. What do I need to practice? It's the 6 perfections. Where do I learn to practice these things? Is studying, getting to know the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And then may I become a Buddha? Why? To benefit all sentient beings. So it can be very powerful. They say like the positive potential that you create when your mind is fully there and you really mean what you're saying is that path. Otherwise, it's again like having a Lexus car and having no petrol. You see, the merit or the positive potential, what they call, this is being able to use our really good situation that we have at the moment. If that is lacking, so this is why we have to create it. Okay? So usually one says it 3 times. There's a big visualization that comes with this. So again, the mind is fully there because when you have a visualization, you need to hold it. You can't go into your shopping list or what happened yesterday and all this. I mean, you can. If you don't visualize, then you say blah, 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 and the mind is all over the place. But if you visualize either one Buddha or the whole merit field, your mother's at your left side, your father's at your right side, even though they're already dead, because you become aware that you owe them this body and your education and whatever. Around you, all sentient beings, I want to benefit all sentient beings. The mind becomes very big and very spacious, and then you take refuge. And you can also, same as you did with the visualization, light is coming from the Buddha absorbing into you. We can do a lot of things. If you practice Mahayana Buddhism fully, you don't need any games anymore. It's like you don't need TV anymore, whatever. It's so entertaining. One thing is like you're watching your mind the whole time. The other thing is you're constantly using antidotes to go against or to weaken your negative emotions with visualization and all this. We let go of only what I can see and touch is real. We start to really open up since everything we see is just a projection, so we start to project pure things instead of impure things. Okay, then we totally open up our heart. Again, why are we doing this? It's page 11, it's the 4 immeasurable thoughts. Next year, I think we have a whole course on it, A to Z. It's like generating love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. These 4 mental factors are the total immune system for your mind. If you have developed those, if you cultivate those, if you nourish those, anger, cruelty, and being depressed about yourself or being jealous, and attachment and aversion have very little chance. So this is why we cultivate them, we nourish them with the thoughts. And then slowly, the sensation also comes. Like when you are angry at something or somebody, you have a sensation. Or I can be talking about a situation that doesn't really affect me. I talk about it. Maybe there is some anger, but there's no sensation. And when we just say these words also, there is no sensation yet. But by repeating them, and we first taking the frame where it comes easy, then taking somebody that we're not interested in, so the heart opens, and then taking somebody who dislike. All of a sudden, you just sit there, you do this in the morning, it's better than coffee. To wake you up, but to wake you up in a very relaxed way. And then you really have this very warm and very gentle feelings towards all beings. Then you go outside, and then you see that I'm not doing anything to make them happy. I'm actually making them unhappy. And then slowly, we start to see that our intentions, what we actually want, and our actions are not concordant. See, we all want to be good people. None of us wants to harm others. We all don't want to have these negative emotions. But when we have a moment where we could train patience, acceptance, relax, and all this, no, whoosh, we go right into it again and we follow. So by doing these things in the morning, which are a bit fake, because we don't behave like this yet, but all of a sudden we see that, hey, but, not only I don't make them happy, but actually create their unhappiness by being unpleasant or, whatever. So then slowly we start to, so this is why, you see, Buddhists are training to behave properly. They can't behave properly yet. A Buddha behaves properly, not a Buddhist. But a Buddhist trained to behave properly, so don't judge them when they're not behaving properly, because as we said, we don't know where they're coming from. Yeah? And if you as a Buddhist, you think you have to behave properly and you have to do these 6 perfections, no, it's a training. So don't judge yourself, just be happy that you are actually trying, instead of judging yourself when you slip. You know me, after 30 years, I still slip. Yeah. They talk about 3.5 countless eons to become enlightened. Many lifetimes. So 30 years is nothing. You see, if being totally free from suffering, having developed universal love, universal compassion, universal wisdom, if that would be easy, everybody would be Buddhist. And we wouldn't be here anymore. Yeah. So, since there is beginningless times, many beings have attained liberation and enlightenment, but we're still here. So that also means we're not the best, really. You know. The good ones, because there's no starting point. Yeah, because there's beginningless times. So the good ones, they're already out. And we're still here, so don't push too hard. You don't belong to the good ones. Me neither, so don't expect too much from me. Okay? Relax, come on. Such a wonderful path. Don't spoil it by being too serious. Don't spoil it by being too tense and too serious, and I'm a bad person, and again I got angry. Yeah, go like, wow, look at me, again I got angry. Shit, you can say these words to yourself, that's okay. Okay, so we open up our heart, and again we think about all sentient beings. So if you need to think all sentient beings, the mind goes, it becomes very spacious. Usually we think, I need, and it's like, yeah? You think, may all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And you meditate on this when you have time alone at home. You meditate as long as you need for the feeling to come up. Then when you have trained the mind to have a feeling, then just the words is enough. You don't need to familiarize yourself with the words anymore. Same way, you know, somebody's getting on your case a little bit, or on your nerves. A little bit. But if you have constant contact with that person, your upsetness increases and increases and increases and increases, and your mind is totally glued on that person. The person is not even allowed to go anymore. Isn't it? You will very, with a lot of concern, kind of throw the tissues at them so that they blow their nose, so that they don't have to go. That would make you so upset. Yeah? So you don't have to think anymore, this is a horrible person. Just seeing the person is enough for you to be upset. Okay? That is meditating on the negative side of that person. Making the mind familiar with that this person is a horrible person. If you catch it at the beginning, it will not crystallize, it will not grow and grow and grow and grow, it will not become solid. You can dissolve it. But if you wait and wait and wait, that person has so much power over you that you can't even look at the person anymore without feeling sick. This is how much power we give to people when we dislike them. You know? So you can use your arrogance and say, I don't want to give that person so much power. I will not allow you to make me upset anymore. So we repeat these things until, same way as with the aversion, until the good feeling comes with it, the good feeling, the open feeling, the warm feeling, the relaxed feeling comes along. So may all sentient beings have happiness, cause of happiness. This is love. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. It's compassion. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that is free from suffering. So this is the joy that comes when you believe in your own Buddha potential or in your own natural good heart that you can never lose. Sometimes it can be totally covered, but you can always find it. Where can you find it? In a calm, open, and aware mind. You can find your good heart because it's your nature. That's why. But first you have to start to believe in it, so that you go looking for it. Otherwise you get stuck again in your negative sides and you identify with them. They're not you, it's not your nature, but it covers the beauty of our mind. Yeah? So the joy that comes is by knowing even the worst people, they can change. Everybody has the potential to love, everybody has the potential to be compassionate, everybody has the potential to be joyful. That would be the Buddhist you. Sometimes I ask psychologists, do you believe that? And quite often they say no. Some people are by nature bad. I think that is not a healthful. I don't think it's a healthy view, to be honest, because then you're not even looking at the, looking for the goodness in somebody else, and then you see the bad person, and then the person in your eyes becomes a bad person. So it's very sad that the psychologists don't believe it. Now somebody I think is out there maybe eating your cookies. Is that okay? Should be okay, because you have so many of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kids. So
I will not send them away. I will take information.
you give them the permission so that it doesn't go into stealing. Okay, that's good. That's a good way, because the kids, they might not know. Are we allowed to take it? Are we not allowed to take it? Can we? Is it okay? Yeah, good idea, Leora. Thank you. So then we're sure that they're not creating the karma of stealing. Because you see, the karma of stealing does not come from my side, it comes from their mind. Thinking, taking something that is not mine. Yeah? So the karma is not something out there, independent from minds, or a person that says, this is bad, now you have bad karma. Not like this, karma is created in the mind. So you can create the karma of stealing, thinking that you're stealing, but you're not stealing. This is how it is. Okay, and then the last one is may all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. So that becomes the antidote to attachment and to anger or aversion. Yeah? The joy becomes the antidote for jealousy, and the compassion becomes the antidote for cruelty, and of course love becomes the antidote for hatred, anger, like that. Okay, so it's not finished yet, so we're still in the preparation. If you read texts, the preparation can last like an hour and a half. Yeah? And we say, well, I don't have time. But it's like the warm-up before you go on a marathon. So if you don't do the warm-up when you go on a marathon, you're not going to run very far. So this is just to really prepare the mind to even the ground, because our mind is like this. So we start to even the ground. And this is in the Bodhicharyavatara, this is done in the second and the third chapter, because it's difficult to develop bodhicitta, the mind that honestly really loves everybody, has compassion for everybody, wants everybody to be happy. So we need to prepare the conditions. We need to have not so many negative imprints, we need to purify, and we need to create positive imprints so that we have enough merit or positive potential to be able to do that. So this is done in the preparation. Okay, the next one would be the 7 limbs. Is it somewhere? Do we have the 7 limbs somewhere? 16. 16. The mandala, I think we leave. Takes too long to explain. Then is the 7 limb practice, which is also very, very powerful. I remember this was one of the first teachings I received from Geshe Lama Konchok. Geshe Lama Konchok is that old Lama that dies in the movie, so he was my first Tibetan Buddhist teacher. So he kind of, he was teaching on the mandala. I was sitting there going, wow! Offering elephants and queens and unharvested harvests and wish-fulfilling gems and, milk-giving cows. I didn't understand a thing. Yeah? And then he went into the 7 limbs and I said, this is for people who have time, you know. I don't have time, I just want to sit and meditate. This is how arrogant I was. Okay, so these 7 lines or these 7 links is like it counteracts 7 negative attitudes or attitudes that we can have on the path. And by doing this, then so again it evens it out. So reverently I prostrate with my body, speech and mind. Means I prostrate, I make prostrations. The least important is the body. Because out of religious reasons you don't want to prostrate, nobody has anything against that. Because that's the least important of these things. Speeches, we don't criticize. Because when you criticize, you see negative things and you block. But still, you need healthy criticism. Criticism that is based on logic, and then go and talk with it about this to somebody who maybe understands a bit better than you. Because don't go blind in this, because otherwise you'll get hurt. Yeah? We have a critical mind, the Westerners. We don't really need to develop it, but don't take it to the extreme, because otherwise you never make the step to really engage in practices. It can hinder you, but also when you see that you think something is totally wrong, go talk to somebody about this. Yeah? Maybe it can be cleared up. So that's the speech. So one would sing praises, because you see, whenever you praise somebody, your mind is happy, because you see their positive sides. So you're happy. Also, when you praise somebody, it allows you to have these positive sides, because you see it as something good. If you are jealous of somebody and you criticize their positive side, you don't want to have them, these positive sides, you block your own ability to have the positive sides, because your subtle mind has taxed them as something negative. So this is why jealousy is quite dangerous. Yeah? Then you cannot enjoy the good things. Okay, so that's first. The mind is the most important. You prostrate with the mind. With the mind you prostrate by having respect and appreciation. You appreciate that you have these methods. Okay? So that is an antidote to arrogance. The arrogance, I don't need this, or I can do this alone. I don't need a teacher, I don't need the books, I don't need instructions. I just go off into the mountains and meditate until I'm enlightened. Yeah. Or the arrogance, I'm not capable of doing this. This is also arrogance, also a form of arrogance. I'm the worst of all, I can't do this. It also goes into the category of deluded pride or arrogance, believe it or not. I present every type of offering, actual and imagined. So we visualize that we're offering all the beautiful things, what we think is beautiful, and they're not just one flower or one apple or banana or whatever, but oceans of flowers, oceans of light. This is what is here. Yeah? What is represented here is, the first one is water for drinking, or delicious drinks. The second is like very soft and very nice smelling and right temperature water for washing. Then the next one is flowers, because in general people like flowers. Then the next one is nice scents, which is incense. Then the next one is light, which should give you a mind that is bright and not dull. The next one is perfume, that goes against the stink of immorality. And then the next one is food, offering that gives you a healthy body in the future. And the last one is music. Those are the sense objects that usually make this happen. So that's what we are offering usually. Yeah. And it also goes very deep, what it represents, it's symbolically and what it actually is, what causes you crave from offering them, and so. So when you do an altar, you can just put this, have no idea what it is, then just pour the water and go on. But if you visualize what you're doing, offering in incredible amount, and you know the results of it, then it becomes a very powerful and profound practice. But it can also be just the practice of the body, just filling the water, and that's it. So it depends on you. It doesn't really depend on anybody else how you do it. So that is an antidote to miserliness. We have big problems giving freely, yeah. Because I don't know how it is here, but in Switzerland we learn, if you are stingy and if you don't give everything away, you will be rich. This is what we learn.